Hello everybody, Manithral here, and welcome to the weekly update video for OSRS. Now this week we have the Christmas event 2022, but there is much more to that, including going over the new skill and how they're going to be handling it for OSRS, because apparently they're looking to try to get the new skill in both OSRS and RS3. Now, RS3 was announced, and that will be in tomorrow's video. But up first, we have the OSRS, and we are talking about the getting started aspect of this. If you're familiar, you know this image right here. This is heading in between Barbarian Village, more closer to Barbarian Village than Falador, but it's in between the two. Right by the, I want to say air altar. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the air altar. It's changed a lot since for RS3, but be right in there. So do check this out. They have a wonderful location. You go through the portal, you come to this location, and it looks pretty awesome. I gotta admit, it looks pretty cool. Very Winter Wonderland-esque. So, but it is worth noting too that PvP is also enabled inside the Nutcracker pub on Dead Man mode and PvP worlds, with relevant restrictions on entry if you were to enter an instance version. So this does still have an impact for that, yeah. But also they do have this note that I see here, and I kind of wanted to give you guys some heads up on this. Space barring not allowed. I doubt that'll be the case for this, but they're talking about the different types of projects going on. But it does say, "Hey, Scapers, thought to write a few lines for all releasing their first project of OSRS exciting stuff, as you may know." This is from Mod Halo. I've been working in Q&A as a team for quite some time on projects such as the Tombs of Mascot. I wouldn't be here without the team. They work exceptionally hard. Moving over to the design team has been incredibly a couple months so far, and he's had a blast constructing this event for everyone. Christmas events are so iconic for old school, and they were pretty iconic for RS3 for a while. And to be able to make one simply amazing, so he went to the extra effort of giving some of the characters their own lore too. So he hopes Mod Ed would be proud. And space barring not allowed. So I don't know if space barring is going to be allowed or not, if it's just a joke. But he's really passionate about this project, so he really went all out for this. So do check it out. But there's also some cool stuff, of course, that do come with it. Each piece there's an outfit. Number one is a Nutcracker outfit. There is the Nutcracker outfit style 1, which is kind of like your Christmas tree-esque kind of greenery and reds a little bit. More your traditional Nutcracker. But then there's like a gingerbread-esque kind of one with the peppermint staff. But they all have a change style option, so you can have both outfits with one outfit in general. So do enjoy that outfit. It's just kind of cool. But then there's also seasonal back pieces, and there is the Naughty or Nice list cape and a sack of coal backpack. So that's actually pretty cool. But also for this week, well, I wouldn't even say this week, but there was a Winter Summit recap. So to recap, there's Secrets of the North, which I'm very curious about with that. Then you have the official count builds, which, if I remember correctly, the official count builds is that you can lock skills for certain XP. This way you don't have to worry about it at all. Then you got Bounty Hunter, which is coming in spring. You got Forestry, which is coming in mid-2023. That is to try to help make woodcutting a little bit more sociable. Which I know some people were like, "Oh, woodcutting is sociable already." It is not. they're trying to make it to the point where it's sociable, where everybody enjoys cutting wood together, not just you're trying to compete over the same, couple of trees that are higher tier. Then there's also the Desert Treasure 2, the Fallen Empire. So we got a Zerosian themed quest in the summer of 2023. And then they have a to be determined new skill lock. Now there's a reason why it is to be determined, and we will go over that in a bit. There was some recent downtime players experienced on December 10th that led them to performing a game-wide rollback. So as you're aware, issues occurred over the weekend, and the team worked tirelessly to get the services back up and running. The priorities was to get players back in the game, ensure the services are running correctly. So they thank everyone for their continued patience. And I know it may seem like there has been a lot of downtime lately, ever since pretty much the login lockout. But it seems like each time it has been actually something different. And it's just one of those things where they got to get... when they fix one issue, a little while later, another issue's popping up. And then there's also the one issue where it wasn't even them. It was a hosted server issue. Some sort of server issue that wasn't even them. So they tried to put in more fail safes for that, just in case it happens again, etc., etc. But there is some more changes, which is poll 77. So they have created a buy all that you can afford button on the Grand Exchange, which automatically sets the quantity to the maximum number you can afford. There will be a warning when placing a message, when placing a sale offer that's lower than 10% of the guide price. This can be disabled though via the settings menu. Then you got the poison dynamite, which they corrected an issue where the single place poison dynamite bomb did not explode correctly. They've enabled poison dynamite to work on the guard dog and the priest in peril quest. So there has been some quest speedrunning balancing changes. So for a Taste of Hope, fully launched, bronze 44, silver 35, gold 29, platinum is 26 now. Temple I, which is still in beta, which is bronze 19, silver 1730, gold 1630, and platinum is 16. Then we go into the other category, which is fix the bug with the butt damage combat achievement. So items of level 75 or above are no longer usable. Fix the bug with the Perfect Warden's task, which did not account for the obelisk attacks as intended. Players can once again rub the Camulet in their inventory to teleport without having to equip the Camulet first. The Elven Scout, who provides Ilfine's services during her absence in the Song of the Elves, was overcharging players who hadn't used Ilfine's services before. You should be charged the right price now. In Kronus room, in Tombs of a Masket, there were still some slight mapping issues with the Purgatory where you would become a ghost if you die. They corrected these issues so that it works as intended. And then we have moved PvP Rhoda to having Period A and Period B running concurrently. This is because they don't want... this is because we won't be able to update the PvP Rota over Christmas break. So both are going to be running at the same time, which is very interesting. So it's 539 US PvP, 548 Germany high risk PvP, 577 US free to play PvP, 559 UK LMS competitive, and I'm assuming this is period B, 560 UK PvP, 579 US high risk PvP, 561 UK free to play PvP, 580 US LMS competitive, and World 390 AUS for LMS competitive is activated with this Rota. The PvP arena is using the max/med loadouts in ranked and tournaments for this news post going live. However, the PvPer will switch to Zerker loadouts next week on December 14th, which is something to keep in mind. Now, we're going to head over to the new skill and what their approach is. So, currently, from what I have seen, they don't have a traditional skill up yet. But they want to talk about the new skill polling process. So what it is that the Jagex staff will vote on different skills, and they will greenlight them. They will give this information to the community with the new skill blog and poll. There will be a community consultation, so community serve polls. And then it goes into the skill pitches, so top level skill concepts. And then it goes into refinement. Okay, this is actually kind of weird. But then it goes into refinement, take one skill and refine it further. Locking in the skill, so fine tune the skill and agree on the concepts. And then it goes into the lock concept to try the beta. And then you use beta feedback to finalize the skill in game. So, based upon community feedback, though, each one of these things can go back if need be. Since then, the community has grown beyond the wildest expectations, and their expectations are pretty clear in the annual survey. A whopping 78% of the respondents supported the addition of a new skill, and an increase of 3% since they asked the same question last year. The commonly known values of the skills, they allow for them to expand the content and create new reasons for everybody to log in each day. So here are the reasons why some of the things that people had said about it. They do want a skill, yes, but only if it feels like old school, if it's fast to train, if it's a certain skill, if it's non-viable, non-gathering, and non-combat. Yeah. If it don't have to be re-earn the max cape. I'm sorry, but that one is going to be kind of silly. I hate to say that like that, but it's a skill. You're going to have to. Only if all the bits... if only all the bits I vote yes to pass and all the bits I vote no to fail. Only if I get to playtest the skill in the beta worlds, and the list goes on. But ideally, there's only so much of that they can really do. So, like I said up top, this is what, there's going to be polling throughout the entire thing. They will have like a final poll for the final confirmation. But one thing they have here is, what does question 1, should a new skill be added to the game? If this passes, we'll follow the revised polling structure, working closely with the community to determine the details skill with future polls and consultations as described at the blog. So, what does the initial vote mean? The voting yes does mean you would like a new skill in old school RuneScape if they feel the skill design that appeals to you. Development team will invest a portion of their resources designing top level pitches for a new skill. As you all know, a new skill is no small feat, so they need to establish that the majority of players would like the concept of the new skill, but before they start to work on it, as it is a major time investment. They'll work closely with the community to understand exactly what they want from a new skill and use this information to shape their design. They'll carry on that throughout the community consultation, provide a pitch, and refine the idea before they even think about locking in a new skill, so people will still get a say at every stage of the process. So all those stages I was read in the beginning, they will be polling to see how people like it. If you're not happy with the skill they propose, it can go back to refinement or even replaced if it hasn't been locked in. Voting yes does not mean a new skill will just be added to the game without consulting players. Instead, they'll work with the skill designs and share them with the community for further consideration. All the development time will be put towards the design and implementation of a new skill. Should the new skill pass, only a portion of the development team will be allocated to it. So there will still be work on other types of content. So there's basically going to be a skill team. The pitch of ideas will, without a community consultation, they plan to get people involved at every stage, so that will not be taking place. Pitches are not locked in from start. You'll get a chance to give the feedback on every single pitch and at every single stage. And it doesn't mean that once you start a proposal, it's locked in forever. No, proposals are just that, the proposals. So every stage, there will be a poll to get feedback. Like I said, they'll get the green light. There will be a new skill blog and poll, given a brief description. People can vote for it. If it votes to pass, there's a community consultation, which is the survey polls. So that's how that goes. Those are hand in hand. Skill pitches. So once if everybody's in agreement with what the current pitch is, they will give even more concepts into it, top level skill concepts. Basically, what to expect, more depth, refinement, so fine-tuning it all, and then it goes into locking in the skill, being like, hey, you guys sure you want this? So you're going to be getting not only 1, 2, 3 polls before you get the final poll. Because after the skill gets locked in, that's when it goes into tried at the beta, and that's when it's beyond the point of return. So there is a grand total of 4 polls to completely pass it, and it seems like they are looking for a 70 or 75% community to pass this, from what I have heard. So keep that in mind. There's a lot of voting that is going to be taking place. But that'll actually do it. Hopefully you guys get a new, cool, awesome new skill like we are. So thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, later guys.